Peace Mode. Effective January 1st, 1978. All parts and industrial electromechanics operations will cease. Please contact your assigned account representative for account transfers or contract settlements.
Thank you for holding. Your call is very important. The first available KIE representative will be with you shortly.
Hello, Internet people. How you doing tonight? You doing good? I hope so. I just realized I've misplaced my water. I just realized my water's almost empty. Oh well. Anyway, I'll probably go fill it up in a little while. So, how's everyone today? You doing good? I hope so. This is going to be a little bit of an interesting weekend for me. It's going to be 3 days in a row of me streaming. One was yesterday was a makeup stream for having to postpone Sunday's Legacy Golf Challenge. And then our regular weekend, like Saturday and Sunday streams. Which is, you know, it's something I look forward to. I enjoy these weekend streams. It's a nice way, I've said it before, but it's like a nice way to not escape from day-to-day life, but to just kind of take a break from everything around me. Just for a little while. Get to have chats with people who wander on in for a few minutes and just get to have a nice, calm, laid-back time. Oh, maybe I should have made some. Oh, well. So, tonight, we're continuing what we were playing last, which was Shapes 2. Yes, there is a sequel to the factory building game where you just build shapes. Except now, instead of building shapes in the white void, you're now building shapes in a factory in a void in space. Which I originally wasn't sure what to think of it. But, you know, I dig it. I was originally not sure what to think because the original Shapes was designed to be this like ultra minimalistic, like, I wouldn't call it minimum viable product, but it was kind of designed to be that way, where machines weren't really represented as, like, they didn't visually represent a machine. They were just like an abstract shape that you knew to be a machine. The deposits were just, again, an abstract symbol. And your void was an abstract symbol. So yeah, it almost presented itself as, like I was saying before, a minimum viable product. But now they've kind of fleshed it out to be this, like, futuristic space thing. But, you know, I dig it. It's good. I like it. But enough waffling from me. I think we should just switch on over and get started. Now, oh, I need to turn the hold music down. There we go. Now let's just double check that the game audio is coming. Yes, it is. I'm using my own stream to figure that out. Alright. So, I think where we last left it is we got our... They give this, like, little mini tutorial, which is, like a first stage in playing the game, and that's your operator's certification. And then from there, you get to choose what difficulty you want. So we got the operator certification, and then we got our first actual challenge. So we were just starting that, and that was at the 4-hour mark. So I decided to pin it there because I usually like to go only 4 hours with stream. I find if I go longer than that, I just end up not feeling so great. So let's continue. This is what we have. I was extracting... Okay, so I was asked to provide 1,200 half-red circles and 1,200 quarter blue squares. What we could do... Now for the half-red circles, that's quite easy. Because we have here a natural deposit of 3/4 red of a circle, so we can just cut it in half and just feed the halves. And that seems to work quite well. Now for quarter blue squares, we could try doing something a bit different. It's not made very clear, but these here are dye. So what we could do is one of two things. We could either extract something that naturally has blue in it, and then divide it up, and ship off just the blue corners, or we could dye the squares we have blue, chop them into quarters, and then feed the quarters in. And you know what? I think this might be the easier way to go. So we're gonna pull this. And I think we can actually extract on the platform directly. Sorry, yeah, do the processing on this platform directly. I think we could pull that off. We also have the ability to just lay foundation and put like factory parts there. But I don't think I want to do that. I don't think it's necessary. We are in a position where I believe we can be wasteful. And this is how I think we should do it. If we take a cutter, right, if we swap those, we don't get anything useful. We could do a cutter, and then let's try this. 1, 2, 3. I think this will work. So now we have blue on top, blue on bottom. Is the gameplay shaping up? You know what? Yes. Yes, it is. I'm just thinking of the laziest ways to make these make these shape solutions. And I have ideas. They're not good ideas, but they are ideas. Actually, I think I want to do this another way. If I do this, I go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You said blue. Are you at dyes now then? Yes. So we actually finished the tutorial last session. So now they're asking for colored shapes. And I'm trying to find a solution that doesn't involve dyes yet. And I think I know how. That is, if I can find natural deposits that just so happen to have the color I need, I can process those. Too bad I can't mirror a machine. Oh, F. Oh, well, what do you know? I absolutely can. Well, that makes my life a lot easier. So now I can go F. And how's Sunfall today? You doing good? I hope so. So now, doing fine, tired but fine. You know what? Same. Oh, I can build over top. Good. So now I've got oh, that doesn't work. I forgot a segment. Actually, I can shuffle these all down one now. I have the plan. I can make a nice compact system. Then I need this. Then that gives me 2 spots for belts. Wait a minute. I can think in 2 dimensions now. Actually, 3 dimensions. I can do this. So this part goes here. That didn't work. I don't have enough slack for that. Alright, we'll go around. Like plebeians. So now I can merge actually, I can now do something like this. I can rotate them all. Rotate, 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 rotate. Actually, no, I want half destroyer. That gives me blue. So now I can counter-rotate. So now I have nothing but blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's one down here. There. I was up till 5 a.m. playing Tactical Breach Wizards. Very good game. Tactical Breach Wizards. That sounds like a very intense, goofy game. The elevator pitch is, what if XCOM but wizards? Okay, that is what I thought it was. Which is brilliantly silly, and I love it. Let's see. Transport. XCOM Wizards. Okay, so now they want full circles. Which is not that hard to do. XCOM Wizards. Like, I wonder how you even swing that. Alright, let's pull this up. My god. Yes, that does tell me everything I need to know. Good goofy fun by the looks of it. What's a good way to describe it? There's like that type of... There's that type of parody where it tries very hard to present itself like it isn't. And that's very hard to do. Oops. Very hard to try and make that type of parody where it tries to, like, present like it isn't. The plot is surprisingly serious, but it's very snarky, quite funny, some genuinely laugh-out-loud lines. Okay, so it is that type of game. Which... Those are tough to pull off. Wait, why am I getting gray squares in there? Did I mess something up? I think this last one I screwed up. Was that just a mistake in my earlier processes? Yes, that was a mistake in my earlier processes. Let's set ourselves achievable goals and build confidence from there. Yep, that's... I've never actually played XCOM before. I do know it's like a tactical... like a... not an RPG, but like a tactical game. That's about all I know. And I could probably save myself some track space by flipping this. That would give me one extra spot here. Oh, no, this seems to be doing just fine. So now let's get to those full circles it's asking for. And that one is actually pretty easy to do. Because I already have half circles. So I can do this. Rotator. Actually, I need 180. No, I need yeah, I need 180. It's definitely RPG adjacent, if not an RPG. The original DOS XCOM had stat upgrades upon skill uses. It's a little more regimented in the modern XCOM games, but your soldiers definitely rank up and gain new abilities as you play. I see. I knew XCOM was a long-running series, but I didn't really know much about it. Not poo-pooing anyone who enjoys, like, military tactical. It's just not been something that, that hooks me, you know? But I'm sure that, well, I mean, what was one that they did that was like XCOM style that everyone seems to like? It was, one of the Mario series did it. Forgetting its name. Oh, yeah, Mario and Rabbids. I was told that's similar to the XCOM style of gameplay. Mario plus Rabbids, yeah. You know, let's upgrade the Vortex inputs. Actually, no. I think I want to upgrade the belts. Foundations. Unlocks an L-shaped foundation. Ooh, I get a lot of foundations. Okay, this is cool. I might actually save up for wire basics, because if I can do conditional factory work, that makes my life a lot easier. I've played a pretty good chunk of the Mario Rabbids game. It's much better than it honestly has any business being. I didn't know how they would pull that off, but I have seen a little bit of gameplay of it. It's not, it doesn't look that bad at all. There. So now I can chop this off. I can make a nice array of stackers. And 1, 2, 3, up. Yeah. No, that doesn't work either. I accidentally cut off this belt. There. There we go. Now we got full circles coming in. Now I can... What is this one? This one is not necessary anymore. Where did this come from? Oh, that's up here, isn't it? Yeah, because now I take one of these, and I stack two on top of each other, and I shimmy in a quarter circle from somewhere. I got circles here. So I can chop that into quarters. Combine that with... Ooh, I know what I can do. I can go Control X. I can do this. Actually, no. I'm gonna go up here. That gives me a lot more room. I can tuck these away. From a certain perspective, XCOM has my first tactical RPG. I hadn't played Shining Force before it, and I never got very far in Shining Force until I played all the way through it a couple of years ago. Later there was Final Fantasy Tactics, of course, but we didn't get most tactical RPG series here in the States for a long time. The first Fire Emblem we got was the 6th one. Yeah, I tried playing Fire Emblem before, and I wouldn't say it was bad, but I don't know, I wasn't crazy about it. Let's just say I had to use save states a lot. Early Fire Emblems were really rude with their permadeath. Well, there's the permadeath thing, and then there's like... To even get like a snowball's chance in hell of success, you had to, in the middle of a fight, make two people talk to each other. Which I found was kind of a nuisance. And it's not like... Because like when you make... For some reason when you make units have conversations with each other, they get permanent development or something. And so when I'm trying to figure out how to actually deal with this issue, and then for some reason I have to make two random units have a conversation with each other, I just found it annoying. Because yeah, I also didn't know which ones were supposed to have a conversation with each other, because I obviously didn't pick up that cue very well. Right, so I need to use a cutter. Then rotator. It's not obvious. Those games have a lot of hidden mechanisms that are not casual friendly, that's for sure. They got better later, but it's still a problem. Yeah, I think I only played like... I think it was like 1 or 2 for the Game Boy Advance, and that was about it. Wait, did I take the cutter or the half destroyer? Then you have games like Disgaea where all of the mechanisms are surface, but there's roughly 16,000 different interlocking systems, so it's all extremely overwhelming. I think my favorite part about them is when they take bugs and they make them features. That's one thing I liked. If there's a... oh, did I accidentally do the 180? Oh, that's why. Okay, so that way, and then that way gives me the same part. So there's the one where they didn't fix a bug, where when the UI likes to slowly sweep across tiles, if you select to throw while the UI is sweeping your cursor over a tile, you can just throw there. And so they're like, no, fuck it, that's a feature now. That I liked. They're like, well, shit, how do we present this to the player? And they're like, ah, no, we'll just say that being a cheap bastard is what it's like in hell, so go ahead, be a cheap bastard. Go ahead and do it. Alright, so they want... So these need to be on the top left corner. Okay, so if these need to be on the top left corner, I need to change these. Okay, and then these become top left, and then we can merge them. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. So these need to be... So these need to be this way, and these are already correctly oriented. I actually played through La Pucelle Tactics, which is essentially the first game in the series, but I never made it all the way through the original Disgaea. Started getting swamped by the systems a few chapters in, and now they're up to Disgaea 7, which is like 10 more layers of stuff. Thank you for reminding me. Now that I have an original PlayStation, I can play La Pucelle. PS2, but yes. Oh, it's PlayStation 2. Oh, even better. The one on PS1 is Rhapsody, a Musical Adventure. Ah, right. Which is a fun short one. But it's a traditional RPG, not a tactical RPG. I see. Stacker. This should do. So it says if you stack on open air, it goes to the lowest location. So this should make, yeah, exactly what I was looking for. Rhapsody Musical Adventure. Okay. So that was one you suggested as well. So now I have some to try for weekends where I actually am going to do retro. Let's see. Wait, why is this color-coded now? Doesn't need these anymore, but I'm not going to bother shutting them down. This is plugging away just fine. And now they want half blue squares, which is way easier. Because I can do this. Swapper. No, that doesn't work. Because then we get the original shape again. So if I swap these, I get the same. If I rotate one, so if I rotate one and then I swap, I now get bottoms and tops. And then okay. These go into the garbage. There. So that was rotate. Oh, but I need two. Or maybe I don't. Rotate. Swap. Rotate. Yeah? Nope, that's the same orientation. I have to say, I would have just made another platform or whatever rather than ruin whatever you already had on this one. Yeah, that's true. That would have made more sense. I could have just made another extractor. I do have another extractor. Or another miner, I should say. So I can do this now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you're right. I heard a pop, like as if I had undone something, but I didn't see it, so I used Control Y to redo it. But there is a chance I have something incorrectly set. Here's some of my full rectangles. It looks okay to me. Swapper. Okay. So then, rotate, rotate, swapper, garbage, swapper. Am I out of trash cans? Why am I not allowed to set one down? Oh, I can't set one down around here. That's exactly it. You're right on the money. You can have 2 floors of launchers here, too. There we go. Full squares. No, I didn't need full squares. I needed half squares. Whoops. Well, that's fine, because I'll do this. Cutter. Yuck, 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 yuck. And now... belts, but in space. What's going on with the weird... Oh, that's an effect. I thought it was a graphics issue. So I got a lot of... I've now hit the opposite end of the retro... Oh, this was one of my pinned tasks, actually. So some of the stuff I made on accident I will need later. Oh, I got a whole weird setup here. What the hell is this? Oh, that's not difficult at all, actually. It's the same piece, it's just one piece. Rotate it 90, stack, rotate 90, stack, rotate 90, stack. Okay, that's a lot less scary than it looked. Oh hey, the other half of this. I don't need to cut the circles in half anymore. Okay, once I'm done this... Okay, once I'm done this... Actually, no, once I'm done this one, I'll, tear this apart. Because I have half a circle. The deposit I pulled from already has it. What are some other games to play here? Yeah, now I'm hitting the opposite end of retro games, where I now have so many platforms. Now I'm at the I have nothing to wear while staring at the giant closet of clothes type of scenario. Oh, we're almost done this one. 4 more, actually. Good old choice paralysis. That's what I'm at right now. Which is, as my grandpa used to tell me, that's a good problem to have. There is such a thing as a good problem. Not knowing what to choose. Having such a variety of yours. Okay, I'm off to play a bit more TBW. Be back later. Sounds good. You have a good time. You play them games. You kick them asses. You get those wizards doing shoot 'em up, pow pow things. Can't wait to hear a status report on it. Alright. There. Yeah, there we go. Why is that not picking up? There we go. One, two, three, four. We'll split this off. Here we go. Look at that plugging away. These are picking up steam now, I think. Do I have enough room to combine these? I think I do. I don't think I want to do that. Could I make another copy of this? Is this belt's backing up? Actually, no, that's plugging away alright, I suppose. So I wanted, not foundations, but I wanted wire basics. Wire, signal, filters, readers, displays, and buttons. That's what I want, is wiring basics. Ooh, and I get logic gates. Simulated buildings. Allows you to simulate the cutting, stacking, unstacking, and painting of logical shape signals. fluid tank, fluid miner extensions, trains, a train filling wagon, a fluid wagon. Oh wow, there's a lot to this. I think I want the wire basics. Because this could just let me have just a simple delivery, like a delivery line of every product I want, and then I can just check for what it is I do and do not need from it. And extract it, perhaps? I don't know, maybe I'm overhyping it. We're almost done the full circle. And this is the last of the missing a quarter. Actually, and that would give me enough for signaling right there. Mushroom. Rotated stacking. Oh, that's exactly what this is rotated stacking. Stack, cut, and cut. Emerald, red fly, alternating parts. Circle, star, and squares. Slicing a watermelon. This one I don't understand. That's probably way too far down the line. Actually, I could do this one. Stacking array. Now I have a stacking... Okay, I don't need anything here anymore. These are for parts I don't need. So we have a nice clean stacking array here. Don't need this. These are for a part that's not necessary anymore. No need to save this. There we go. There. We're almost done full red circles. Actually, I don't need to tear this down. I just need to slide... I need to get rid of the destroyers, and I need to slide this whole assembly out a few blocks. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So now, instead of destroyers, I'm gonna do a cutter. Perhaps I can do this. Here? These aren't needed anymore. There. So then, these get tied together. Actually, I think I need to go the other way. Like this. Like this. There. So now all half circles are on their own track. Which I can put. Actually, I want to go the other direction of the track. Ah. There. And we'll just slap it on the same belt. That's our output, is half a circle. There. Easy. Oh! I bought a PlayStation 3 the other day. The price was right for it. It was just some junk thing. Now, I know the PlayStation 3s have this really bad reliability issue. But hopefully I don't have to deal with it. But at least not for the foreseeable future. And honestly, I don't know what kind of games are on the PlayStation 3, but I'm sure there's something there that's fun. But that just gives me an excuse to soft mod something. Just cut my chops a little bit on, cut my teeth, I should say, a little bit more on the... What's it? On the hobby. Wonder if there's a way to combine without stacking. I'm sure that's a later upgrade. Oh! 80 more circles, and that's one milestone done. Hang on, if that's a pinned task, that means I can just cut these in half and put them on the belt as well. Well, why don't I do that? Yeah, we'll just cut them. I know what to do. We'll put the cutters up one floor. There. Now that's some efficiency. That gives me enough for wire basics. And or not exclusive OR transistors and a comparator. So I can do Boolean operations. I still don't understand the simulated buildings, though. Allows you to simulate the cutting, stacking, unstacking, and painting of logical shape signals. So, like, I can... When it says simulated, am I testing it, or is it like a scaled-down version? I don't know, we'll have to see. I think we're getting a backlog here, so I'm going to clear these. And I'm going to put these on the second floor. Is that getting the belt moving? No. Still backlogged. That should clear up the congestion. Wait a minute. Are these backlogged because you have to accept on the second floor? Yes. Oh, God. Okay, well, now I know. So that's why we have a backlog. Great. So that's a quirk I didn't know about. So if you throw stuff on the upper level at the start of the belt, you have to pick it up on the upper level on the other half of the belt, or it just doesn't take it. Well, it doesn't look brilliant, but it does the job. So those are plugging away real good like. Actually, the half red circle's almost... half red, half circle's almost done. Now I need to stack blue squares on... I need to stack red circles on blue squares. I don't have blue dye. Actually, no, I do have blue dye around. I am now making red circles. Stacking a gray, half a gray circle on one of those weird half things? Yeah, I can. Yep, right here. We'll grab these. Right, I need to cut it in half. Cutter. There. Easy Street. I gotta get a list of games I want to play, because every time I get to like stream time and it's a Saturday, I kind of forget what it is I was wanting to do. I need to get a better... I need to make a better effort at organizing myself. I was for a while, but yeah. Didn't really last for very long, admittedly. Alright, so which one's this? Okay, I don't know which one that is. This belt's going fine. Actually, we're almost done this one, so we can start I need to think about this for a minute because I've got two platforms here. Two extractor platforms. Top one is doing these goals. The bottom one is doing this side quest I started on accident. But this is more better suited to this material here, because if you rotate this 180 degrees, you get the same half shape here. So I'm wondering if I should wait on this, do this, and then reconvert or refit this extractor to be also a platform to just do this task. Because there's like two schools of thought on what you want to do, right? Because you have circles and squares, so you can make the parts you want. But alternatively, you can go far enough out and there's usually a shape that's close enough to what you want, or at least has parts of what you want. Like they're asking for red and blue circles and squares, and this sector here has red, blue, circles, and squares all over. And this one's kind of easy to do because it's a waste. I'm using a waste product I've got. I'm using a surplus of what I've got. And then a surplus of what I got. More of a surplus of what I got. And then 2 waste products and 2 surplus of what I've got. So now I need full blue squares and full red circles. I don't even know how to handle dye at this point. But I do have a full 1/8 of a plot here to figure it out. Can I even extract dye? No. I don't think I have the tools necessary to extract dye. I have wires. Signal producer, display, wire. Don't know why conveyor belt's in there. Button. What's that? Oh. Oh well. I'm halfway done the half squares, which is good. You know, I don't need the quarter square. Like, this isn't useful for anything. I think I could retrofit this into full squares. Do I have full red circles somewhere? Where could a full red circle be? Doesn't look like it. Nothing. I see a full red square. I see purple. I see a blue circle. Yeah, no, I don't see a full red circle anywhere. Well, that would have been convenient, but oh well. Alright, let's clear this up. We'll clear it up and we'll start from scratch. I can actually utilize second floors to make these a little more efficient, but I keep forgetting. Alright. So to make... make another copy of... Actually, I can just make another one of these to speed things along. Yeah, I'll make this on this platform. So, shape processing, cutting, swapper, and a swapper. Rotate, I think. No, wait, that doesn't do anything. I need a cutter. 1. 2. Second floor. Nope, that doesn't work. I need the belt. So now I should be able to orient them all the same way, and then we can get multi-stacking. So rotate this way, this way, this way, this way. Nope, this way. This way. Okay, so now they should all be the same orientation. Good. Now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So we can combine for the upper, these for the upper half of the stacker, these for the lower half of the stacker, actually I'm doing this the wrong way. So why did those not take? Oh, that's way simpler. I don't know why I didn't think of that. We have 4 stackers. This works out just fine. Okay, let's start this over. So these are always the same, but it's the upper that needs to be rotated. Well, that's 180 degrees. I don't want that. No, they want the blue stacked, so these are the wrong ones. There we go. Done. So then, when these are done, we'll tack an extension on, do the same cutting procedure, except we'll just rotate once more and then we're good. Actually, I should put the extension on now. And we're almost done the half blue squares. Good stuff. We're almost halfway done that pin task, too. We're almost done. Here we are. The half blue is almost done. $95, $96, $97, $98, $99. Done. Okay. So now it's 8,000 red circles on blue squares. I am making red circles. So I do have half red circles, half blue squares. I could try and recombine them. These haven't actually hit the vortex yet, have they? Where is it getting stuck? Or is it getting stuck? Might not be at all. There's some. Oh, there they are. They're starting to show up. They actually hit the belt on the main platform yet? No, they just haven't hit. Oh, there they are. They're starting to come in. So that means we don't need half squares anymore. So I could just send full squares now, because this isn't necessary any longer. There we go. Full squares. And that is on... Which one was it? It is on the far rightmost. So the upper and lower on this belt should have full squares coming in soon. So we can tap from that. And then... You know what, maybe I'm overcomplicating this. Oh, I am totally overcomplicating this. I can do something like this. I can pull this, I can put the extension here. I can take a shape miner. I can put it here. Another shape miner, put it here. Put a foundation here. And then... Actually, I want it here. So this comes to the back, this comes to the back. I combine them here, and then I send them off to the void. So now I can do this. Cutter. Actually, no, I want a half destroyer. $180. $180. And then... So now I have full circles. Then I go here. Extractor. Oh, those are too close. Actually, can I put extractors this high up? No. No, I can't. Butter. Alright. Extractors. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now... we want to rotate these all so that... so that they match their neighbor. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now they all match their neighbor, which means we can We should be able to now rotate them all, swap them. Yeah. Now, is there a more efficient way to rotate? Because I think I might have... So this is a 180-degree rotation. But if I do a swap... Oh, if I do a swap here, nothing will happen. Yeah, they don't do anything. But let's just experiment with this. I think what I need to do is rotate clockwise and counterclockwise. No, something here's not adding up. How did I do this before? I am... Oh, I'm rotating... Oh, I'm rotating first. Oh. Yeah, I'm doing this completely wrong. Okay. So I'm rotating first. Then I am swapping. Then rotating. Oh. And swapping. Garbage, garbage. There. So now I can take a space belt. Space belt tunnel entrance. You can place tunnels throughout space belts below other platforms. Oh, that's clever. So if I need to weave them, that's how I do it. Okay. So it's just an underpass. Okay, let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh wait, wrong way. Six, 9. Wait a goddamn minute, I got those backwards. that belt's pretty full. So I'm gonna have to come in from somewhere else. Could come in from down here. Yeah, I think I can come in from down here. Needs... shit. I should have output from here. Oh, that's easy to do. I can do this. X, V, rotate. Alright. Hey, oh. Space belt. In space. There was something that was 3 points here that I think it wanted me to do. The bent stackers, I just don't understand what use they have. 'Cause I can't make a battery of stackers that way. They're nowhere near fast enough for me to do anything useful. I think it really wants me to do vortex inputs, so I might as well do that. So that gives me, because I can send things into the vortex on 2 floors. So 6 times 4, so 12, 24, and then a second floor. So 48 inputs, so that's pretty good. These are still plugging away nicely. This is pretty easy to do. We can probably get started on that. Honestly, I don't even need this part of the factory anymore. It doesn't do anything. Could just axe it, but... There. Look at all those shapes coming in. Why is that 4th not taking anything? Oh, well, it's because there aren't enough red shapes coming in. That's good. We got a steady stream here, too. Look at it just plugging away. That's beautiful. Alright. Now let's see what we can do about this one. So somewhere here I was stacking... I was stacking here. So I can take a square and cut it in half. Actually, I don't need any of this factory anymore. So I can tap into squares and do another stack. That's just what I'm gonna do. Now, how do I get... Actually, I don't need any of this anymore. So, I can... Yeah, I don't need any of this anymore. So I can clear this area out. So I'm only needing... Now I only need the gray and red side. So... Oh, but if I don't dispose of the red... Actually, no, that's fine. We'll dispose of the red. There. So now I should be able to remove this. There. Which means I can now bring in half squares and do a stack. By redirecting like this. So that's the bottom half. We'll take the stackers. Okay. And then we are going to... So these always come in on the left side, which means when I cut the squares, I need them to always show up on the right side. So I then rotate these 180, 180. So now they all match. There we go, exactly what they asked for. Look at that. Easy street. I think I need to speed this up a bit. Which isn't that hard to do. We'll just put an extension on here. Copy, paste, here. So that should double it, and then I'll go here and do the same thing. Extension. Copy, paste. Look at that go. That should speed things up. No, I think that's bottlenecking it. Maybe I want to bring it in here. There. That should speed it up. Let's see how fast this is going now. I don't think they're coming in yet. Here we go. Those, clean those belts up because we don't need them anymore. Yeah. And we're almost done our second iteration of the rotated stack. Which means... Oh, which one's our rotated stacker? Here we are. How did I propose doing this one again? Oh yeah, I remember. Since this shape is already here, we just need to extract, cut, and rotate them to the same orientation for the third. That should do it. It'd be nice if it let me from here drop back to the challenge it's part of. That would be nice. I have to do this 4 times. It might not be feasible to do these all on the single platform. Actually, it might be, but it'd probably be tough. I could do the third stage now, get it prepared. Okay. Actually, I don't need to do that, I just need to cut. Okay. So then the blue, so the blue should always touch the next. So this is the correct orientation. Means this one needs to rotate 180 degrees. Okay. So now we can have a lower and a higher. Okay, so we can cut these off now. They're not necessary. Put 2 stackers here. Why is this being so difficult now? One, two, three. There. That was just one. Oh, that's gonna start slowing down, isn't it? This is going okay, but I think we could speed it up some more. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll split this in 2. Okay, we're gonna shuffle this forward a few. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so then okay. Boop. And boop. That should speed up production. This is doing pretty well here. Okay, so that belt's not doing anything, so we'll clear that out. Are we getting a backlog here? No, this is as fast as it goes. So now our bottleneck is still the blue. So do you not have access to dyes directly, or are you just playing on self-hard mode? I don't have machines to extract dye, only shapes. And there's an option here for fluid tanks and fluid miner extensions. And those haven't been unlocked yet, so I think they're wanting me to do it the hard way first, then I can extract dyes. Let's speed up. I think next we'll speed up the cutting. Actually, the belts. I think speeding up belts is the next best thing. Actually, no. Speeding up the cutters. I want my bottleneck to be the belts. That's what I think I need. Because at any point in time, the thing that should be holding me up is transporting goods, not making the goods manufacture quicker. So if I make the belt super fast, and then there's just no need to transport anything, it's a useless upgrade. Oh, it's bugging away. Look at it go. You want to find the thing that's most stalling you out here. It looks like it's cutting speed. It's like... They did warn that stackers are a notably slow system, but... Yeah, like in this case... Like in this case, I think it is my belts. If I go over here... So it's the second from the top. If I go here, second from the top on the bottom belt, it's being congested by other belts. I don't need these anymore, so I can shut these down, and I'm not utilizing anything from them, so that should speed up throughput here. Yeah, now we're moving two at a time. Shortly. Yeah. Now that's speeding up. These are vestigial now. So away these go, don't need them. Actually, I don't even need them for reference either. We'll clear these out until I need something else. Here's working okay. We already have a pretty decent speed up here. Ish. What do I need to speed up the cutters? 7. This gives me... This will give me 3. This will give me 2. Finding one of these and cutting it in half will give me 1. I think I saw a shape like that earlier. Ah, here it is. How many did it want? 750? Oh, yeah. Is there another shape that's more close? There's this one that's actually very close. And I kind of think I have the, I'm in a position to be wasteful. And... base belt. I did not think this through. No, I want it over here. I'm gonna do underpass. That doesn't work, so I have to go here. I go underpass. Doesn't work either. Oh. Yeah, here's perfect. We go here. Underpass. Nope. Underpass. No, that doesn't work either. But we can do this. No, we can't. You know what, I'll tap in here. So I already have the underpass. And this array of belts isn't fully utilized, so I can just tap into these. Right. So how was the XCOM Wizard game? There we go. Now this is plugging away a lot better. Oh, it's great. It was showing it to a friend. I pulled off a pretty fantastic trick in one mission. Made us both cackle with glee. That's good. I'm glad you're having good fun with it. Because what is a game for other than to have fun? Actually, that's not true. I already know the answer to that one. Games are either meant to be fun or interesting. And this one, by the sounds of it, is both. Which is pretty great. Or to suck you dry via microtransactions. Yes. Or to suck you dry with microtransactions. If we want to be cynical. Which, I mean, I can be a cynical lad. Oh, this is interesting. If I just pulled a metric buttload of this deposit, I could have used a lot of platforms and foundations and just done all of the achievements necessary. Actually, that's not true. I would have had to have pulled from my squares and circles from my main platform, but I'm already doing that. I find it interesting that there's like 2 tiers of building in this. Because there's the macro, which is the like resource extraction, and then there's the micro, which is the refining that you do on the foundations. Now, one thing I haven't gotten to using yet is I now have signaling and basic logic here, so I can do run wires, I can do belt filtering. Detects and displays the speed and contents of a belt. Signal producer produces a predefined logic signal. Displays any logical signal. Transmits a logical signal. So then the next tier is I can put in and, or, and not gates, so I can check for if 2 parts are on a belt, I can do something. And a button. So I don't know what I can do with that yet, but I have it. Oh, that one's done. So now instead of stacking a half circle, I'm going to stack a full circle. Which, that's pretty easy to do. Because I already have half circles here. Actually, what I can do... I can actually refactor this pretty quickly and get a way more efficient setup. That's exactly what I'm going to do, because it's half circle, half square, full gray circle, which I have down here. So... Oh! Oh, it's control, not shift. Okay, nope, not that. Here. I don't need any of this anymore. because now it's more efficient to start from scratch. So let's see. Half circle, half square. Half circle is always on the left side, so half square should always be on the right. So we will converge these. So there's our stack. Half squares. We'll do a cutter. Rotator, 180, 180, 180. Actually, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4 outputs of half circle, which means I should have 1, 2, 3, 4 outputs of half square. And I'm using splitters that go to the garbage, so I'm actually losing 50% of the product. So having a half size here, because they're the same color, is fine. And then I converge them onto one belt. I will put them on the higher end. Alright, so that's stage 1. One, two, three, 4. 8 should be fine. So that's the first stage. Second stage is to just stack a circle on it. So because the belts congest, we should do this. Okay. There. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there is our shape. And look at it go! Alright, that one's done. That gives us 1. That and a half circle. I can do that later. What was the upgrade I wanted again? Oh yeah, I wanted to upgrade cutting. While this is going. So let's upgrade our cutters. So now the bottleneck is the stackers. Honestly, this whole assembly isn't necessary anymore. I just don't have the heart to delete it. So I dare say it was pretty efficient. And it was cool. And it looks cool. So right now the backlog doesn't appear to be blue, it appears to be red. So let's see what we can do to speed up red. You know, I should be able to make 2 copies of this machine. That should speed things along. Copy, paste. Now this is the annoying, messy one. Need to get this up and around and here. Yeah, I have to go the other way. Or just simplify your belts. Where's the fun in that, though? Make the left side the left belt, and the right side the right belt. I could stack them. Yeah, it's true, because right now they are crisscrossing. And I do have enough slack for the 2 belts. Let's give that a shot. I remember there was... What was the reason? I felt like there was a reason at one point, but maybe that's moot now. I thought I was originally backlogging the belts, but I think that backlogging was because I had low demand. Yeah, that's exactly, it was low demand. So now the belt capacity is high. Oh, hi, how are you doing tonight? You doing good? I hope so. We're just doing factory work. Oh, now I'm sad. Well, we'll just deal with him really quick. Well, shit. I knew this day would come. Pardon the pun. And, let's just see here. What else do we need to do? Let's see, what was the problem? We'll send a quick whiz bang. There we go. Sorted. Like a 2-minute whiz bang. I don't know. Diminishing returns, I guess. I hope it has nothing to do with that that issue I had a few months ago with those other 2 fellas. I doubt it. Yeah. Must be a one-off. It's amazing what you can do with ASCII, though. There's a reason teletext art is a thing. That wasn't ASCII. I was using the Braille symbols, so it was Unicode. You're right. Actually, yeah, you're right. It was the Braille symbols. Like, I know it's really weird trying to critique Unicode art with Braille, but they were using Braille as a form of dithering. I can't believe I'm doing critique of a Unicode penis on stream, but I think that was kind of neat that they were using like different Braille symbols to do dithering to put shadows on it. I thought that was pretty neat. I'm sure there's some kind of algorithm or like program you can use to take an image and make like a Braille image out of it, but still, that's neat. The art, not the penis. That's kind of lame. I'm trying so hard not to make penis puns right now. We're trying it so hard, but the attempts are a bit limp. Damn it. His attack on the stream was a bit flaccid. Below average. I can take a joke, I'm not a weenie. Damn it. It was a dick move. That's what it was. Alright, so now I can just do one more set of stacking. This one is done. I actually don't need these other extractors to do it. Yeah, that's more efficient. It's getting a little cramped, but I think I can pull this off. So I could do this. So I need... I got a sudden craving for some wheat thins or Triscuits or something. Nothing to do with the juvenile interlocutor. I'm just hungry. Unfortunately, Walmart is like 6 minutes away. The amount of times I've just DoorDashed something in out of pure laziness is somewhat embarrassing. Alright, have a good Walmart trip. Enjoy the snack crackers. Alright, that looks... yeah, that should do. So now, I take these away, and I do this. Actually, this works out better. So this is already in the correct orientation. So it's only this one that needs to be rotated. So I can do this. Which means I can now do this. Which means I can then put a stacker here. Means I can do this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Means I can then do this. Or, I wonder if I can really speed things along. No, the belt's not getting overloaded. I don't think. No, it's not. Oh, that is incorrect. Oh, but I can fix that pretty quick. Blue needs to be... Oh, okay, I see what I need to do. This needs to be clockwise. And this needs to be counterclockwise. No. Yep, so now both are... No, this one needs to be... No, those are both correct. That should do. Yeah, that's the shape we want. Okay. So now where's that? Okay. So now we can... Let's see. Yeah, we can do away with all this now. Actually, same with this. That should help us get this one plugged, like, sorted. about to start counting these up. Yep, there's our first. Alright, it pains me to say it, but we need to clean up shop now. Now I have circles, I've got these. I don't need to combine them anymore on this belt. We'll clear these up. Right, so we will cut. Rotate 180. And I think I want these all to be on the upper level. Hey, Clonk, how you doing? You doing good? I hope so. That's good, good. So, we're just plugging away at shapes in space, right? Enjoying shapes. People have been recommending this to me recently. You know, it's good. It's a really good game for if you want to just relax, but you still feel the need to use your brain. Because there's like tons of ways to achieve what you want, and they don't really like put pressure on you. You just need to do it, and then how you do it is up to you. So I find that really relaxing. Some may find it overwhelming because of just how all the machines end up becoming these like damn near like Soycian contraptions, but I don't know, I feel I enjoy it. But it's like a departure, I think, stylistically from the first one they did. So the first one, it was like deliberately very abstract. Like there was no... Like the only visual information you got was just you were in this infinite white void. And you were just told to make shapes, and all of the shapes were machines that were also just like abstract objects. But they seem to have changed it to this whole space theme. But they did still keep with the void. You've got this big black hole in the middle. And the thing you're feeding is literally called I think they call it the vortex? Let me double check that. Yeah. The thing you're feeding is called the vortex. It's enjoyable. And there's actually quite a bit more to it than the previous one. Either that or I didn't pay too much attention to the original one. Because once you start figuring out better ways to lay out factories, they start giving you basic digital communication and like conditional components if you want. Then there's a whole bunch of other things like locomotives, which I never got to yet. Oh, which one did I do? Oh, that one. Yeah. So, what good mischief have you gotten into these days? I saw you were plugging away at, what is it? Reading data off of a Pokemon ROM. But I didn't get to see too terribly much of it other than that. We made a little graphical map editor for Pokemon Emerald as an Emacs mode, and it basically works. Good stuff. The little bits I picked up, you were debating how to, not debating, you were considering ways to write the data back after you load it into memory and alter it. Did you manage to get it to write back? Yep. Oh, cool. I had one question about it, which was, so suppose you did pull the data from the cartridge and parse it. We deleted some walls in a house and saw the changes reflected in game. Okay. Because like the one thing I thought about was, because the ROM is laid out in a very particular way, what happens when you add more data than what was originally there when the data was pulled? Like, what happens to the rest of the ROM? Can you accidentally... Do you have to keep within the, like, original, like, data limit? Or if you, like, exceeded by... That would be a challenge working with the ROM directly, because all the addresses would break. That's what I was worried about, is, like, if you exceeded, like, by a byte, then suddenly everything else would have new addresses. We're fortunately working with the decompiled C source, so the linker would fix it for us. Oh, so you decompile the ROM, then you read it, and then you could put it back and put all the addresses back. I see. That makes more sense. You doing all this cool shit. It makes me miss programming. Admittedly, I never found a good development environment once I finished my Polytechnic, and I feel it's odd of me to say that I just haven't really gotten back into it because I haven't found like the tools I wish to use that I'm comfortable with, but I am that type of guy. I need to be comfortable before I get started. Like, I seriously considered poking at Visual Studio Code even, but ironically, games like this are much more comfortable than most real environments, which tend to be extremely wonky and unpolished. Where you start hearing a lot of, why was this made like this? And it usually comes back to, well, Phil did this in 1970 something, and we haven't had the heart to change it because we liked Phil, or they're like, we're scared to alter this part. I even have that one in industrial. Where I've literally run, I've quite literally run an issue with a piece of hardware up to the developers or the creators of the hardware. And I say, in these edge cases, it shits the bed, and here's how it shits the bed. And then they come back and say, yeah, we know that's an issue, and we're not fixing it. Because when we talked to the engineers about it, they said they didn't know what would happen to every other customer if we fixed your problem, so we're not going to fix this problem. Your job is to make sure it just never meets these conditions for this problem to occur. Yep. And admittedly, it is an edge case, because again, it's because of standards in industry. So, without disclosing too much, back in an industrial computing environment, you sometimes have to spec out hardware based on old standards, and one of them is some systems require a WSXGA+ monitor. So that's like 1680 by 1050 or something. And a certain PCOIP card, when given a WSXGA+ monitor, does not know what to do, and it starts spitting out garbage. And so the operator can't read what's on screen because it's just gibberish. And they're like, yeah, we know. Nope, we're not fixing it. Like, well, what am I supposed to do? It's like, well, you could force 1920 by 1080 and then drop it down. Yeah, but that's really stupid. And they're like, yes, it is stupid. And that's it. Conversation's just over. I thought that if I ever got back into programming, I think I'd like to do Rust. I'm weird. I have a distaste for Python. And I think it's just coming into it very late as an old man. Rust is quite cool. I know there's ways that, like, at compile time, it protects you from, or like it will compile what you've written in a way that's like common programming safety issues like use after free or like memory protection issues are addressed. But aside from that, I don't know too terribly much. Oh, and then there's something called a box, and that has its own package manager for some reason. That's about all I know. Admittedly, I didn't look too far into it. Like, frankly, the amount of stuff I've managed to get away with by simply, like, using a bash script instead has been surprising. I've just never really had the need to use any, like, high-level programming language at this juncture. Actually, there's a bunch of things I need to get back into and shake the rust off. My employer ran a Capture the Flag challenge the other weekend. And, one of the challenges was decompiling code to find a password or guess what it is. And I fell flat on my face because I just did not know any tools. And I used to, and I did use, like, I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't the NSA one. It wasn't that, Ghidra. It wasn't that. I think I just, like, fucked around with GDB the last time I had to troubleshoot something. Ghidra, IDA, and Binary Ninja are the big ones in that zone. Someone did mention Binary Ninja. I never got a chance to poke around at it. But I do have the executable from the challenge. Maybe I'll see if I can figure it out that way. Because, like, admittedly, the last time I had to find, like, what a program was, I shit you not, I just typed cat. I just catted it out to screen and just looked for the strings. And I was like, oh, this was a vulnerability checker. Actually, yeah, what was that? When did I have to do that and it was a vulnerability checker? I know there was a story that... Yes! I've just been reminded of an old man IT story. So... And I'm gonna be careful, I don't want to name names. Why is that being rejected? Oh, it wants a full circle. That's why. Well, that's easy to do. So, old man IT story, and I'm not going to name names because I don't think it's under NDA, but just I like them, and they were a good organization, or are a good organization. It was a seniors housing complex. It's like subsidized seniors housing, and there's a few, so I feel comfortable just giving that piece of information. I keep, for about, I get a message from one of my superiors, and he says, hey, I have been constantly rebooting one of our NASs, and I haven't had time to investigate it, and I want you to. Alright, fine. I guess I'll do that. It's not like I had anything else I wanted to do today. And, he says, yeah, I keep restarting it because it keeps complaining it's out of memory. I go, okay. Out of memory? Got it. I'll see why it's running out of memory, I suppose. And, so I remote into it, and I look, and yes, it is running out of memory. And it's a QNAP NAS, and so it's running an embedded version of Linux. It's, I forget what kind it uses. But the version isn't that relevant. What is relevant, however, is that the version of Linux it uses is immutable and uses a RAM disk. And so I keep thinking that there's some weird process on there, or like maybe somebody added some plugins, and it, and like maybe a plugin has a leak, and so it runs out of memory, and so the memory protection kicks in and unloads processes it shouldn't, and then stops acting as a NAS. And as I'm trying to figure out how the fuck to deal with this, and I'm talking to QNAP, and they say, well, you know what, you can SSH into it, but you just have to be wary of that this is an embedded machine. It does have a RAM disk overlay, so a lot of what you expect it to do is not what it's going to do. And as I'm poking around, alright, fine, so I SSH into it, and as I'm poking around in it, I see somebody has placed in I think it's the temp folder in root. They've placed some executables that don't have a clear name, and I've never seen these before, and I go look them up, and I still don't know what they are. And I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to figure out what these are without running them? So just that little derpy brain cell, that one that just gets me into trouble sometimes, does just pipe up and go, why don't you just pump it to cat? Why don't you just add it out and read what's there? Like, read the strings. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Derpy little brain cell in the back of my head. And I do. And what I catch are strings from Red Hat. And it's a vulnerability checker. And so now things are starting to click, so I'm like, okay, well, I don't remember putting a vulnerability checker in there. My boss certainly didn't. So I start pulling up running sessions. And I've got IP addresses in there that aren't ours. So then I go to my boss, I'm like, so what did this thing used to do? And he's like, well, this thing used to use rsync to synchronize between two satellite offices. It doesn't do that anymore, it just holds backups. I'm like, oh no. So I start taking the IP addresses. So I run them through Aaron. And Aaron comes back and says, you should ask Lacnick. And I'm like, oh no. So I go to Lacnick. And Lacnick says, Microsoft Informatico. I'm like, oh no. So after a little bit of poking, I realized nobody before my time, my bosses didn't close SSH up to the internet. And so somebody, a script kiddie got in, saw that this was exposed via SSH, guessed the password, and every time he tried to embed himself further, he'd crash the NAS because he didn't know it was a NAS. It looked like Alpine. That's what I think they used. I think it was Alpine Linux. But it's not obvious that it's not a real, like, full-blown Linux server. So if the guy tried to run tools to embed himself further, he would run out of memory and crash the NAS. So it's like the only reason this didn't become like bad news bears is that the thing he attacked was a piece of shit. That's our only saving grace. And so I'm like, well, I kind of want to get a sample of this and investigate further. So I was like, I'm debating, like, the session is open right now. The guy's poking in there right now. So I go into the work folder. Then I realized, like, no, this is stupid. So I decided I'm going to close the port up, but I also want to see what the guy does. So it was admittedly very stupid to do, but I went into the work directory where I saw these tools. And so I put a text file that says, get off my lawn. And I let it sit for an hour or so as I closed the port up, but then when I took the NAS down and gave it to our cybersecurity guy to analyze, he's like, I don't see anything on here. So I think the person tried to clean up. Admittedly, I shouldn't have said, get off my lawn. Oh wow, they're getting really clever now, aren't they? And ban. And report. And we'll send a quick whiz bang. Scams, spams, or bots. Scam. Advertisement for viewer botting. Wow, I am being oddly popular today. I had somebody send a Unicode penis earlier, and we got to critique how they used dithering with Braille to accent all of the veins and stuff. Very interesting week, or interesting session. I feel like there's been a lot of bots around lately. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on right now that they're starting to ramp up like this. Because, like, I don't think you can automate knocking on sessions. And I already did that little trick where you put it to favorites only, and then you have no favorites in your list so nobody can knock. So I don't think the bots can do that yet. Yeah, I don't know why there's been a ramp up. There must be something else going on, something social that I just haven't been paying attention to. Because if anybody has no understanding of their surrounding environment, it's me. let's see. So that's still plugging away nicely. I returned with a giant box of Triscuit plus some ice cream. Not at the same time. Oh, you've not... You know what is a tasty snack if you don't care what people think of you? Ritz crackers and ice cream. Making little mini ice cream open-face sandwiches. If anybody's gonna give horrific food advice, it will be me. I wonder if I should try and get back to doing little development streams. I mean, ice cream I got is salted caramel, so it's already got a bit of that going on. Yeah, the salty and sweet. Then there's the malt, like the maltiness of like ready crackers. I was about to say the biscuity taste of, you know, biscuits, but that was a stupid statement. It shows just how little my palate is refined. People are like, oh yes, I detect hints of oak and leather, and I'm just like, yep, tastes like crackers. Got a very earthy taste to it. I'm like, yeah, it tastes a little like dirt, but in a good way. Good dirt. Maybe I should look at programming streams again. For a while, I actually did a stream where I was troubleshooting my own shader, but that one ended up being a flop because there was no way to properly verify it because it required 6 hours of runtime to determine if I fixed it. And then it was a single line that I fixed when the stream was over, so like, fat lot of good that was. Just stack a circle on it. Oh no, stack a circle under it. No, on it. Oh, that one's easy. One, two. Oh, and I have all of these. Yes. That was not a good one. Oh yeah, Sunfall. Have you ever met was it L:Q or also goes by Clonk? Real good fella. Very interesting lad. Does programming streams. He does some really fun, cool things with Emacs. Actually, what a perfect time. This is, I think, the first time I've managed to do a shout-out. What a perfect opportunity. No. Oh. Two. Carriage return. Anyone who's up to cool tech-related software shenanigans should follow this man. He's good fun, nice and relaxing. Good, calm shenanigans. I'm also not good at advertising. Sorry. Real cool, real laid back, real bright fella. right. We're I think, 2, 4, 6. We're about 3/4 of the way on the big milestone, which is pretty decent. So I never, if I start getting too much into your business, Clonk, let me know. But do you have any, like, roadmaps or big future plans for yourself, or are you just vibing at the moment? It's always fun seeing what kind of cool new shit people feel like doing. Really playing it by ear. I'm always scrambling to find stuff, honestly. How about yourself? I have been, admittedly, in a rut because I have plans on what I want to do, but I also need to clean house before it's ready. My software solutions are not great, but once I can figure out good tools and workflows, I wanted to use my IT training, like my IT experience, and see to making a series to teach. Like, I don't even know the demographic other than, like, people who aren't computer literate, like basic computer networking. Because the amount of, like, I use the term a little incorrectly, but, like, big shots who have said, unironically, the most goofy shit related to computing. And I say this with love. I don't say this maliciously or like I'm better than them, because I'm not. But, like, the amount of people who, like, don't understand the concept between, like, a network connection and the internet, or that Ethernet performs better than Wi-Fi, or how long a cable should be, is surprising. And when your career heavily utilizes a computer and the ability to communicate on the internet, I think people need a better idea as to how it works. So I was debating putting together a series called How the Internet Works, Kinda. And it gives, like, almost the degree of education I got, which was, they started with, we're going to assume you only know that computers glow when the power button is on. And so it starts with, like, what is a protocol? Why do they exist? How do you look them up? Who develops them? So I actually had another incident, and I don't want to name names because, you know, respect for the person, and they try and keep themselves private. I had one fella, and he calls me in a panic, and he says, you know, I just heard on the news that attackers can get through air-gapped systems, so computers that are not electrically connected together, or even, like, networked together. They can communicate to each other using the audio, like using the speakers and microphone on each of the computers. And, like, so now I'm scared of all of the computers I've isolated for, like, backups and whatnot. And trying to explain to him that why this isn't really a threat to the average person was surprisingly difficult. Not because he doesn't know better, but there's so much education before that me trying to explain it just led to more questions. Because I said, well, so you can, in theory, communicate, like, make two computers communicate via ultrasonic sound and using a microphone that is capable of detecting ultrasonic sound. So what? How did you get the protocol? How did you get the data for the protocol to the other computer in the first place? And he's like, I don't understand. Computers don't just magically talk to each other. Somebody had to write a series of software and drivers so that these computers can speak to each other, and somebody had to document how these computers were to communicate to each other, and how the binary should be laid out, and how the signals to represent that binary should be represented And if you don't get that correct, they don't communicate. So how did both air-gapped systems communicate? You had to have already attacked the system beforehand to get the data in there for that to work. So for that to be pulled off on the average person, somebody with a lot of money and a lot of power has to really hate you. And it didn't click. Because I wouldn't say that people think it's magic, it's that they think that somebody must have done it. And it's like, well, no, people... That's exactly why it's not going to happen, because someone has to do it. And you know the average person, they're not going to do it unless they either have to or they're really driven to do it. And again, it's not that anyone's stupid or any better than the other, it's just people genuinely don't know better. So then figuring out, well, fuck, so if I want to do that, I need to figure out, well, one, I gotta figure out how to talk better than I do. Two, I gotta figure out a software solution for video editing, and I gotta learn it. And I have to not be boring. And like, do I even need an editor? I can't afford an editor. So I'm like, well, fuck, how does that work? And then I realized, like, a lot of the shit I'm using right now is not... It's a miracle it runs at all. So then I'm like, okay, well, what do I do about that? Like, hell, even the shader you're seeing right now for the screen, it's broke. This is not how it's supposed to run. Do I know how to fix it? I know what needs to be done to fix it. Am I gonna fix it? I don't know. Fuck. Do I just open the curtains and start now with it like this? Because, like, this was actually supposed to use a frame buffer because there's supposed to be an after image. And no plugin does that. None. And, like, I don't even know. Like, how do you even start with video editing? I mean, I've got Caden Live. I can poke away at that. Like, well, shit, how do I make diagrams? I'm like, oh god, this is getting too much too quick, and then I suddenly forget. But that is the moonshot. That is the big, long, hairy goal. Is I'm that weird VTuber in the basement who says how the tech you don't think about works. While, like, tweaking out on coffee and completely oblivious to the surrounding environment. Alright, what else can I poke away at here? That's my big, long, hairy goal. The great big, hairy goal. Oh, I accidentally did that one and I didn't need to. Oh, so I did need a full-blown square. I just needed it later. Oh, that one's almost done, actually. 400 to go. Oh, and that one's 50 to go. That one's not as impressive. What cool shit can I upgrade here? I'll look forward to it in any case. I feel like I'm missing a lot of important foundation about some of those topics too. If you ever want to come on my stream and chit-chat about stuff, please let me know. You're more than welcome anytime. Oh, well, that's very thoughtful. I appreciate it. Admittedly, I'm very bad at lurking. And what I mean by that is I have a very bad habit of doing that, even if, like, I'm welcome, and that's part of something I need to work on, and that's a personal development thing. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't mind. I'm sure there's something we can do that allows us to at least do something while chit-chatting. Because I don't know, actually, I mean, there's a few VTubers that do just, like, friendly chit-chatting stuff over tea and coffee. I know the feeling. I'm the same way. Yeah, it's like... A good way to describe it is... Or I feel a good way to describe it is, I am the type of guy that, why am I forgetting his name now? He was the guy that who did the voice acting for The Shadow. No, not Vincent Price. Orson Welles. My goal is to be the type of guy Orson Welles hated, and Orson Welles hated Charlie Chaplin because Charlie Chaplin used his acting career as a way to get over his anxiety and his, childhood trauma. And Orson Welles hated that. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get over my anxiety and my fear of people and the malice in them by forming meaningful, healthy relationships with people. And I will make Orson Welles roll in his grave as a result. But yes, I think there's a lot that I could give, because I don't want to name names, but the one thing that kind of just gave me the shock to be like, maybe I should revisit this, was a very big VTuber was struggling for months because they would try and stream and the stream would fall apart. And it would the stream would just shit the bed. And it ended with them getting an Ethernet cable and running it to their modem, and they're like, everything's so much better now. And I thought, well, why did it take months to get there? What? And they said, well, they kept calling the ISP, and the ISP kept saying to restart the modem. I was like, well, of course they are. They don't know what the modem's doing, or what the modem has been doing, so they ask you to restart it to put it to a known fresh state. But how did they not know about Ethernet? Or that Ethernet and Wi-Fi are different? So how do they not know about radio? There is an entire discipline to Wi-Fi. It blew my mind. I actually got to one of my peers now in industrial. He's a Czech fella. And yes, that is his entire career, is radio communications for digital systems. And speaking with him, it's like, I said, well, I was worried about this particular warehouse, and I thought there was a lot of shelving around, and it's like, and I know that grounded metal blocks radio transmission. He goes, yep, that's only a concern on these frequencies and these conditions, and in some conditions it's actually better because then it acts as a point of reflection when you're at these frequencies and these conditions, and it actually increases your transmission range if you shoot it at giant metal shelves. So we deliberately put it in the way of giant metal shelves. I'm like, oh, okay. How does a person understand this? And then it gets even crazier because there's this, oh, here we are. Now we're at fluids and painting. Now I can extract paint. I can extract paint and I can paint things now. That's good. Blue square, red square. Yeah! So then, so now they want a green square. So now I need to find green. Then, so I know a little bit of, radio information, and I like using it to twist people's minds a little bit, because I like telling them this one. What is the difference between TV, the AM radio station your grandpa listened to, the color blue, and your Wi-Fi? And it's just frequency. They are the same radiation. It's just a different frequency, and how it behaves changes on its frequency. And so the reason everything we look at is opaque is it's just the frequencies we can detect with our eyes don't pass through certain objects, but they pass through things like glass. But even certain frequencies don't pass through glass. And then it gets even crazier because it's like, what if you're a creature that detects really, really low wavelengths? Like some crazy interstellar creature, then we would look like glass. And that blows my mind a little bit. And maybe it's because I'm a little bit stupid and this stuff doesn't really... I let you in on a secret. Despite being in tech, I'm moderately stupid. I've just dedicated my life to computing, and because everything's got a computer in it, I look like a genius. Alright, so we got blue. And we can extract some red. Alright. So I need... Okay, what do I need to make green? Just got... Oh, green's over here. We can extract some green. Space pipe. It's a pipe in space. Oh god, can I? No, I can't. Ooh, I can do an underpass though. Can I do this maybe? I have a brilliantly stupid idea to make green. Okay, here's my brilliantly stupid idea. We are going to extract these weird checkerboard squares. I'm sure we have a paint machine that... Can we take one to strip paint? Painter? No. So if I paint an already colored square, do I get a new color? One, two, three, four. Oh no, those are conveyor belts, not pipes. Alright. One platform. And extractor. And we need a space belt. A belt in space. Okay, now let's see how the painter works. So if I take the painter... Oh. Nope, that didn't work. There. So now, be able to take a pipe. Now if I do this... Is that where I put it before? Did I put it on the bottom? Oh! Nope, there's paint flowing. Look at the paint! Look at it go! Alright. Oh wow, time really did fly. We're at like 3.5 hours. We're getting pretty near the 4-hour mark. Now I wonder... I should probably get planning on someone to raid to. I hate to put you on the spot, anybody, but if anybody's got a suggestion for a cool person to raid to, I'm open to hear it. Actually, while the paint's arriving, I'm going to take a quick peek myself. Let's see. Oh, paint's here. Oh, it paints over top. This changes everything. My God. We are going to be... How am I supposed to... This is going to be a tough one, I think. Because the paint reservoir doesn't make this very easy. Are you familiar with Crazy Kitty? They're doing some GB Studio development. I have not heard of this person before, but... I do trust your opinion. I think you have a pretty good opinion on people. A good judgment of character. I've not heard of them before. Oh, look at this. So if I just let this continue feeding, I can bump up the operator level. Didn't know about that. But yeah, we can certainly raid into them. Let me get this refined out a little bit and get the belt flowing here, and maybe we can... I'll just do this to stop the flow. And then we shall see what they're all about. I bet you they're... Seeing some Game Boy development seems pretty neat to me. Oh. Oh. Okay, so... It's not the fastest, so I am going to need more than one. Can I put it on a higher floor? I can put it on a higher floor. Okay, I have an idea on what to do. We're gonna put one painter this way. Then we're gonna do this to the second floor. Flip. Alright. So that should be all 4 bays. And then we can do this. This should just immediately go up. Yes! I am a 21st century man! Why is that giving an error? Wait, why did that happen? Oh, that's a belt, that's why. Pipe. I'll get pipe. There we go. No, pipe. No, pipe. Okay, so I cannot connect a pipe and change floors at the same time. That's not an issue. Now it is time for another base belt. Alright, so now while we have things going on the space belt, let's have a look at Crazy Kitty. PR4 ZY K1 ETY. Let's see what cool shit she's doing, or they're doing. Shouldn't have assumed. That was immediately a foul up on my part. I shouldn't have assumed gender like that. So in GB Studio development. So is GB Studio a dedicated Game Boy development environment, or is it that they're developing an environment? It's a high-level IDE engine for the Game Boy. Oh, very nice. Well, I could see high level. Now I'm curious here, because there's many moons ago, I remember I might actually have it in my old backups, but somebody developed something that looked like Unix. They called it Game Boy Unix. It ran on the Z80, and they gave like an on-screen keyboard. But I'm not sure if it was... I didn't get to use it very much. But I'm curious if... I never really got a chance to check if it was like real Unix, or if it was just some kind of like showmanship kind of thing. But I'm curious. I'm curious if it could be. I wonder where it is. If I have it, I might see if I can throw it somewhere. Because I never really got a chance to poke at it very much. I did a lot of low-level GB development recently, including a GBZ80 assembler. Given how underpowered the Game Boy is, I have to believe it's a look-alike, not an act-like. That's fair, but like, what were the computing requirements of single-user Unix? Because like single-user Unix was in the 70s, wasn't it? Yeah, it was in like late 70s. And they were still operating in the kilohertz. Yeah, maybe it was like a Unix-like and not a full-blown Unix. Sure, but it was on a 12 and 16-bit machine, not an 8-bit machine. True. True. That is true. But I don't know how you could get it to, get it to run on an 8-bit machine. Yeah, so maybe it was a smoke and mirrors trick. But if I can find it again in my backups, I'll find a way to get it to... I'll find a way to get it to you, Clock, if I can find it. Alright, so we're getting green squares coming in. We can make... I think I could... No, it appears that someone ported a very early Unix Game Boy Advance that makes sense. The GBA was a 16-bit machine. Yes, I do know about that one. I do know about that one. I do remember Game Boy Unix very vividly. Or the, Game Boy look-alike very vividly. GBA is 32-bit ARM even. I have a very odd question, just posed to the audience. How many watches should a man who has his shit together have? And there's no trick to this. I'm just curious. I just want to know. What is the general consensus of the average viewer? What is how many watches should a person who has their shit together own? There is a story after I pose the question, but it's not but the answer is not mandatory. I just think it's a funny thing to ask. Let's see, so now we need to stack these on squares. We can certainly do that. Between 0 and 2 inclusive. Okay, 0 and 2. 0 to 2. Okay. So the reason this was an actual question I had to get answered, because now I'm a little more public facing. I'm supposed to be in a little more of a professional environment. And one of my peers who does have their shit together was very adamant that my little $25 smartwatch was not appropriate for formal events. And he said that some who are very may even find it disrespectful. So I got a little Pine Time is what I use. And it does everything I need it to do. The wrist strap is worth more than the watch. And so I did what any like mature functioning member of society adult would do. And I asked my own mother. And I got 2 to 4, and I'm like, really? How many ways do you need to tell time? And I'm like, well, for a formal event, you need a fancy watch. I'm like, okay. And for a really formal event, you need a really fancy watch. I'm like, okay. And in a rough environment, you need a timepiece that doesn't break. I'm like, okay, so that's around 3. And your phone. Does your phone count? And I'm like, I don't know. So now I'm in this scenario where I'm like, well, shit. Do I have to get watches now? I mean, I did end up getting watches. I ended up doing it. I still feel a little odd about it, but oh well. I've been assured that's what functional adults do. Oh, no, wait, shit, I got that backwards. So that means I don't need these. These need to be on the higher level. Yeah, it did seem rather silly to me, but like, I don't know. I've been told that, like, it's just something about, I don't know, society I'm not always the craziest about, which is that, contrary to what I feel, apparently people think aesthetics do matter, and like, I disagree with that to an extent, but I don't know. But yeah, it ended up going back to this question of how many watches does a band with this shit together own? Like, yeah, I thought like 0 to 2. I mean, unless you're a watch collector. Yeah, that's just my weird question today. There we go. My dad definitely had at least 2. A nice watch in his daily wear, so that makes sense to me. Yeah, and that was before a smartphone which got its time from the phone company who got it from NTP. Right? So what I've heard is like the newest, like newer generations like millennials and Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they don't wear any because all of their mobile devices are synchronized with NTP, which is synchronized to an atomic clock, so they don't need it. But for maybe formal wear, yeah, I've been told they're now a fashion accessory instead of like an actual like necessary tool. They're now a fashion accessory that you're supposed to wear for certain occasions. But that was my weird little, what's the word? My weird little mental excursion. All right. So now, hey, that means I can now extract blue paint. And if I can extract blue paint, I can just put a gray circle on a blue square. I am a 21st century man with 21st century solutions. And I can put it here. Okay. So now I have everything I need right here. Gray square, gray circle, and a pipe. Look at this pipe. Alright, painter. And 2, 3, 4, and belt. 1, 2. And now, you know, I think once I get this going here, and making a whole bunch of these shapes, I think this is a good time to wrap it up. Look at that go. Now I just have to figure out how to make like an array of these, because having the paint reservoir on the side doesn't make that too terribly easy. I mean, I did figure out this weird arrangement of like 1 and then 2 stacked and then a mirror of it to get 4 in a row, but that's not very high density. Oh well. That's plugging away. Maybe, like... Can these share paint, maybe? You know what? It looks like they do share paint. So maybe that is how you do it, is you just keep the tank in the middle and then you flip-flop them? I don't know. I don't know, dude. I think I should put a pin in this and save it. And we get over to raiding to Crazy Kitty and see what kind of cool high-tech, low-tech shenanigans she's up to. Or he's up to. I accidentally did it again, I'm sorry. Hey, no problem. But let's... I should actually check the, yeah, I should actually double-check a guy. Oh, I'm sorry, he's up to. I feel like an asshole. I accidentally, like, misgendered them twice. I'm an old man, I'm still learning. Hey, no problem. So, let's get switched over, and we will, switch over to our hold screen here so I can get things cleaned up, get some software unloaded in a graceful way. So, this was a nice relaxing time, I find, and this is a deviation from normal retro things, but I feel it's what I'm just what a guy needs. It's just what I need. So, we managed to deal with a spam bot trying to sell viewers. We managed to thwart a Unicode penis. We managed to make shapes, and we had a good conversation about watches and Rust and development environments, and old man IT stories got unlocked. I think that's a pretty good stream. But enough rambling from me. It's gonna be time to close that up. Get some software unloaded here, and I am going to get us raided over to Crazy Kitty. And I'm just gonna copy paste because I am going to typo that. Now, I'm not good at raid messages, so I think we're going to refrain from raid messages. So we're just going to kick this off and see what happens. And thank you for the recommendation, Clunk. I appreciate it a lot. I still don't really know too terribly many people and, like, good ways to move over into them, but this works out, I think. So, as always, I'm not going to tell you all what to do, so I'm not going to tell you to stay out of trouble. But all I ask is that if you do get in trouble, you make sure it's the good kind of trouble. And you all stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now. Did the raid kick in? I'm not getting any feedback that the raid kicked in. Okay, good. Everything is under control. I totally know software. I'm a certified professional computerer. There it is.